Hale Irwin and Curtis Strange.
Another tough one to read here. The mountain is to the left, but there's a little ridge, that Bubba dealt with, that's going to try to push this ball to the back toward the mountain. Tough one to read. As the roar that backed Jordan off came from over by the mountain. Jordan is now looking at the 12th tee, and he's motioned for Shane Lowry to hit. Those guys have been waiting. There's a backup on 12.
Well, you make this one right here. This would be the dream start, and then all of a sudden, now you've played your last 5 holes in the PGA Championship in 4 under par. That's the momentum you're trying to capture. And by days in, this may be the better split of the field.
Yeah, got it. Center cut for Jordan Spieth. Back-to-back birdies to start his day today. Round 2 at the PGA Championship. Had birdies at 16 and 18 yesterday to finish his round and put himself in a perfect spot to cash in.
Boy, look at that. I mean, just dead center. So, too good. Too good.
Vegas backed it up. His win from last week in Canada with a good round. 68 in the opener. Jordan Spieth shot even par in the opening round. He is 2 under already with back-to-back birdies and finally ready to go at the 12th tee.
Classic Redan style golf course architecture term. The front left is elevated and everything runs away to the back right. And that's where the hole is today.
Tee right by the 11th green.
210 yards. Well, it looks like that looks like a 5-iron.
Plays slightly downhill. And this is right at it.
It's okay. Hung up on the edge. That is not going to be a problem.
Maybe yesterday, that rolls down to that collection area. You could hear him talking right away, BK. Sit. Kind of settled on that fade more than the draw. That famous story of Bubba Watson growing up in Baghdad, Florida, hitting wiffle balls around his house all the way around, corner to corner to corner, going with fades and slices to draws and hooks. That was his golf course around the 4 corners of his home.
Move back to the Gulf near the Pensacola area.
Yeah, owns a minor league baseball team down there. I also heard him say he purchased a candy shop.
Oh yeah, Bubba's Sweet Shop.
Have you been there, Billy?
I have not.
I mean, of all things to own, that's a pretty cool place to set up shop. Bubba's Sweet Shop.
He might be a little more disciplined than I.
I don't think so, actually. I'm saying there's. And then coming off a bogey. So this is Spieth. You could even hear him after it landed. Say, I got lucky there. And had a nice soft landing and stayed on the proper shelf.
Yeah, it's going to push a little left on him, Brian, coming up through the fringe. And then once it gets on the green, it'll hold its line and maybe even squeak back to the right. He didn't have Sergio move his coin. Sergio's coin's only about an inch or 2 off the line to the right. And he went right at Sergio.
Ooh, slow down.
Yeah, that was just way too much speed. He should have missed Sergio's coin by a couple of inches to the left.
Yeah, and you almost get the feeling that because that ball filtered off the green, that that first part of the putt, the first quarter of the putt going up the hill, He was very.
It's really nice right now.
And that is really good news.
Yeah, it is.
Because it has been sweltering hot up here.
This is Spieth for his 3.
Just inside the edge. Saw it coming down the slope. See if it reacts the same way going back up. It did not.
And that's exactly what you're talking about, those little subtle breaks. And Spieth's going to give one back. A bogey at the 12th. Yeah, unforced error there.
It's going to be a benefit for Bubba. The lines don't have to be as exacting with the soft fairways.
Well, Bubba's ball is a perfect target for Jordan Spieth. Aim it right there. You get plenty of room right.
Yeah, and you made a comment earlier, Brian, that, you know, he's not short. You know, I am so tired of hearing that he needs to get longer. This young man has plenty of length, and you're kind of averaging right in that 296, 295 range. He has plenty of length, and he can get it out there pretty much in the top third of the PGA Tour.
Right at Bubba's golf ball.
He likes it right to the tee. And he bombed it actually into the bunker. I think Spieth was satisfied with the flight of that ball, but he rips it right through the fairway into the bunker left. Jordan Spieth, a couple of birdies to start, and then a bogey at the par 3 12th. Our feature group today on PGA.com.
It's going to be a benefit for Bubba. The lines don't have to be as exacting with the soft fairways.
Well, Bubba's ball is a perfect target for Jordan Spieth. Aim it right there. You get plenty of room right.
Yeah, and you made a comment earlier, Brian, that, you know, he's not short. You know, I am so tired of hearing that he needs to get longer. This young man has plenty of length, and you're kind of averaging right in that 296, 295 range. He has plenty of length, and he can get it out there pretty much in the top third of the PGA Tour.
Right at Bubba's golf ball.
He likes it right to the tee. And he bombed it actually into the bunker. I think Spieth was satisfied with the flight of that ball, but he rips it right through the fairway into the bunker left. Jordan Spieth, a couple of birdies to start, and then a bogey at the par 3 12th. Our feature group today on PGA.com.
Yeah, sometimes the mud falls off.
Exactly.
Spieth in the bunker.
The lip, not an issue here, Brian, but right on the edge. If he was 5 yards farther from the hole, that lip would be an issue. It's just enough to take a look at, but I think he just got pardoned here.
Hit a great bunker shot back at the 11th.
Pretty clean.
And another great fairway bunker shot.
How about it? Jordan Spieth.
Well, and I believe with the rain, the tightness of the sand in the bunker, the fact that it's compacted, it's a little tighter, the lines are cleaner, easier to get the club on the ball. But Jordan Spieth has hit 2 great bunker shots here in this second round.
The first one led to a birdie at 11. Got a chance at a birdie here at 13. Our feature group, their 4th hole of the day, hole number 13.
And that's Ron Hickman, and you can see that he is passing out new hole location sheets because the committee has decided that they needed to move a few of the hole locations, like they've done it at number 8 and in a couple other holes. So that is a new hole location sheet for Jordan Spieth. So Ron Hickman making sure all the players, caddies, have the new ones.
Yeah, I've got the green one. One of the holes that was moved was 16, so we're getting over there.
The 8th hole was also moved, Brian.
All right. I've got the green one, which may have been from earlier today. It may have been from last year at Whistling Straits. I don't know. This is definitely outdated information that I have.
Take a look at our social poll today. Who will make the biggest move up the leaderboard? Get in.
By the way, I got one of those yellow pin sheets now.
There was never a question about that.
My green one is already on eBay. So that putt would have fooled Spieth a little bit. The mountain is to the right. Everything about this says it moves to the left, but Bubba's didn't.
Well, from our vantage point, Bubba's putt really didn't do anything. Yeah, I think this is a putt that Jordan Spieth has to definitely keep inside the hole.
Now Spieth for birdie. Coming out of the fairway bunker to here.
It's a good line.
Man, what a roll that was, Jordan Spieth. Oh. A pure stroke of Spieth, who turned 23 on Wednesday. 3 birdies already. Gave one away at the 12th. Essentially a 3-putt there.
Yeah, and 2 out of the fairway bunkers.
Championship from Baltusrol, and Spieth after the birdie with the driver in hand.
286 to carry the fairway bunkers down the left and get all the way back in the fairway, and a big wind in the player's face right now.
Oh my gosh.
Sun just peeking out as this is left.
Wow.
And that is going to be long rough over there.
No secrets after that one. You could tell 7th that year, and that has been his highest finish at the PGA Championship. He is competing in his 6th PGA.
172 for Jordan.
All right.
Excellent shot.
Spieth's got a little bit of that groove going right now. He's got the look that it was shocking to see him give one away at the par 3 12th, but looks like he's in birdie mode right now. He gunned it past on the 12th.
Well, it certainly appears as though this is going to be downhill at the beginning, Brian, and only maybe the last 3 or 4 feet does it kind of level out.
That's a good read, Billy. Working to the right the entire way, which is going to be a little counter to the slope. And this is a bit of a tough read, one that won't break as much as it looks like it does. Meanwhile, I'm watching Sergio's caddy Glenn rake the bunker. Remember, he stood right there in the face, and I wondered how he was going to smooth the face without using a squeegee, but he's using the rake upside down. He left it the way he found it. Clever. And Billy, by the way, I tell you that the shot that Spieth hit, he made that look a lot easier than it was. That was not an easy lie, and he just laser beamed it right at the center of the green.
Just inside 27 feet for Spieth for birdie. He's asking for it. Doesn't move enough.
Yeah, it was going right at the beginning. He was then looking for the left off the mountain.
And he'll wait. Spieth giving his 3.5 footer a good long look, BK. Taking nothing for granted on these greens at Baltusrol.
I think it looks pretty straight, Brian.
Nothing left in this here, Billy.
See if he looks at the hole or looks at the golf ball.
It's close enough. You could probably get both in the same glance. Taking no chances, though.
Looks at the hole.
Yeah, looked at the hole, and that's where it ended up. So that's a par for Jordan Spieth. That's his first par of the day after the 3 birdies and the bogey at the par 3 12. He stays at -2. He's 3 shots off the lead. Jimmy Walker at 5 under is the leader. He's in the afternoon wave today. Just figures to be good scoring today. Now the sun is out after a weather delay with a lot of rain on the golf course that halted play for about 50 minutes. It's about a little over an hour into play. They had to stop down, but it's turned out to be a gorgeous Friday afternoon or morning and then afternoon here in New Jersey. In this grouping, our feature group headed to the par 4 15th. Game and building the game, teaching the game as well. Jordan Spieth thanking his teacher, Cameron. Our feature group today, Jordan Spieth with 3 birdies and a bogey. He's sitting at 2 under, 3 off the lead. Jimmy Walker is the leader of this PGA Championship. He'll be in the afternoon wave. We got approach shots coming up here at the par 4 15th. Par 3 16th is next. And this is the final stretch in the 3 consecutive par 4s here. And then we'll have the back-to-back par 5s. Brian Anderson with Billy Kratzert here in the booth. And on the ground is Brian Katrick. Let's listen in here.
You look at the golf hole, the 15th hole on the right, and where these players are positioned. I happen to think this is one of the more picturesque golf holes.
22 definitely covers it. 20 is probably good too.
The good news is you probably don't have to worry about spinning it too much off this false front.
Behind it?
Yeah.
40.
Well, you look at that, just
36 hole.
36 hole, yeah. 20, 22 on that ridge.
Is it a gap wedge then?
The lag?
It's okay.
just the one
But
fairway hit.
Leaves it a good solid 20 feet short. I don't think I can get it any further than that.
Oh, same. I believe it.
I like that. Okay. It's got to come out decent to get above the ridge.
I think the only mistake you can make here, Brian, is going long.
And it's easy to make. This is going to squirt bottom of a complete bird's nest lie here. Grass going all different directions behind the ball. This is going to need some bite.
Bite it did. All right. That was a big, great. All avoiding those bunkers right, the dangerous catch on this par 4.
Well, even though these putts are outside 20 feet, they're all reasonable looks because they're going back up the hill. And I would think there's going to be enough influence coming off the right-hand side of the green, Brian, that it may shove this a little bit to the left.
Yeah, that's what the mountain would indicate. There's a little bit of right in the middle of it. They seem to have made up their mind. Overall, it becomes a very straight putt. If it wasn't for that mountain, you might play it outside the hole on the left.
Well, right now, Jordan Spieth has hit all 6 greens in regulation.
He's expecting it to come considerably left, and it just doesn't.
Talking to himself. It's not just that he's hitting the greens, his proximity to the hole averaging around 15 feet right now. Gave one back at the par 3 12.
The 2 best iron shots he's hit have been out of the fair.
Par for Bubba Watson. Spieth will have this left for a 4.
Yeah, that's just enough to take a look at it. The problem is now you're putting away from the mountain. Jordan is not a guy that takes the break out of a lot of putts. He doesn't seem to ever drop back and just hammer it in the center. He's got more of that Crenshaw style, which means you got to pay attention to everything. Inside right.
All right, good putt there for a 4 for Jordan Spieth. At the par 4 15th, back-to-back pars for Jordan after 3 birdies in his first 4 holes of the day. 2 from behind. Bubba just slings that one from left to right. Another great chance at a birdie. Now Spieth, BK.
That was directly over a certain on-course reporter's head and a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not so sure it wasn't on purpose. Wind really just picked up here. Jordan's about to feel it. Surprised he has not backed off. Just a little right at the flag, has to hurry.
Good shot. Putter in hand for Jordan Spieth for his 4th birdie of the.
And I think that is a key component in comprising the U.S. team.
Well, some of the U.S. players that are on the bubble right now. Brooks Koepka is the one guy that keeps popping up, coming back from injury. Didn't play last week, and so we'll see where it all unfolds. We're just a little over 60 days.
Yeah, I'd like to see
start of the Ryder Cup,
and I'd like to see Patrick Reed start playing better.
If Sergio somehow were to pull it out this week, guys, think about winning a major championship for the first time at 36. He would be one of the game's young stars still at 36. We've been watching him play in majors for 20 years.
Well, when you go back to 99, you go back to Medina, you mentioned the scissor kick, and to go this extended period of time without a major championship, you could have busted me. You could have absolutely busted me.
Yeah, nobody expected him to still be without one. As Spieth for birdie at 16.
Pushes just a little left up that ridge. Sergio would have helped him.
Boy. So Sergio a touch left. Spieth guns it by a touch right.
He certainly has not been bashful with the birdie attempts. I mean, he's 7 for 7 in greens hit because you get as many good looks. And we saw with Jason Day yesterday. I mean, he had so many good looks, and 68 was absolutely the highest number he could have shot.
Yeah, no question.
But I can tell you what, Brian Catrick, these get old after a while.
Yeah, you just keep working, Billy. You know how it just tears at you. You'd love to. Sergio was able to go tap his in with the toe of his putter upside down. You know, there was nothing to it. Spieth hasn't had one of those all day. Straight back down the hill. If anything, it's inside left.
All right. Scorecard will show it as a 3. That's all that matters.
It's in the middle now.
Yeah, for sure. 2 under par for Jordan Spieth. He remains 3 back of the leader. Watson would have an advantage. Now Spieth.
Yeah, that's what he's looking for right there. Just that little baby cut.
276 carry. Right in the middle of the fairway at 17. Massive par 5 here. A true 3-shotter.
And I think when you see a player struggle like Jordan has off the tee.
Then Spieth and Bubba Watson. Brian Anderson, Billy Kratzert, and Brian Katrick on the ground. And ready for second shots here at the par 5, 17th. Brian?
Well, trouble for 2 of these guys. You remember yesterday you saw Phil Mickelson drive it way right over onto the 15th tee, and that's what Sergio did. He's in the long grass in between right next to the walkway in between tee boxes there, and he's about to get company. Here comes another group intending to play 15. Meanwhile, way left, Bubba feels good enough about his lie that he's got the fairway wood out. And I got to be honest with you, you can't see his shoes. That's an ambitious play. Bubba has not hit yet. Sergio's got 165 to carry all those cross bunkers. And he can't tell if it's his turn or not. They have declared that it is his turn. So Sergio's going to let it settle down behind him. 165, Brian, to clear those cross bunkers. That's really the only job here.
Yeah, no.
That's not going to get to the fairway. And that's what you worry about with these layup shots here on this hole. Sergio's came out perfectly, and he's fine. Bubba's still struggling.
Spieth, who's in the fairway, only one in the fairway in this grouping. 3-wood.
You got to take it up the left. Let the contours bring it back down. He aimed it out to the right. Wind is holding it out there, but that'll hold the fairway.
And a soft landing. Driver 3-wood for the best players in the world, and still a lot of mileage left. Scorecard number on this 17th is 649. Massive par 5 here that played over par in the 2005 PGA Championship.
That it did.
So some of the numbers so far this week, cumulative stats, 636 is the scorecard number today, but no eagles thus far. And the scoring average is under par. Billy, 4 under won this tournament at Baltusrol in 2005. Mickelson's 4 under, had to birdie the 18th to win it to get to 4 under. Are you looking at a number right now? What do you think it's going to take? I mean, you don't know about weather over the weekend and what have you, but if you're under these conditions, what do you think?
Well, it's certainly scoreable. And you look at Jordan Spieth. He hasn't driven the ball well today. He's put in a couple fairway bunkers, and he's hit just absolutely brilliant bunker shots. Fairway at 16, 213. So there's a lot of length in those holes. And the 9th hole is just 4 yards.
And over the green, Spieth for his 3rd shot at this par 5.
Yeah, it's definitely not even last.
Ball barely missed an old divot, about just a couple of inches. He's got 115 back to the hole, And right now, he's not feeling a whole lot of wind. It's blustery. That is the toughest type of wind you can have.
Straight in? Straight in, yeah.
See, it's right on the high point, right at the back of the green.
Oh, Spieth dials up the perfect number. Another chance at birdie for Jordan Spieth.
Well, the iron play has been exceptional for this 9 holes, for 8 holes that we've watched this morning.
25th anniversary, John Daly at the PGA Championship, a crooked stick. You think about John Daly when you see this 17th hole. He's the man who's knocked it on here. Round, the pin was up front left in the final round, but his rolled on through on a very hot and dry day on that. Very nice. And one that Bubba needed. That could be the one that really gets him rolling. He's playing well today. Spieth in a good spot here.
Would you believe that putt falling in on that side for Bubba is not going to help Spieth in his read here? That may just confuse him. This putt looks like it goes left. The mountain's over there on the left. You're going to get a great look at it. I don't think he was helped by that. That looked like it fell in on the high side.
Well, he is actually looking just outside that edge.
Straight and in, and Jordan Spieth with another birdie. That's his 4th of the round. He is within 2 shots of the leader. 4 birdies, 1 bogey, and a par 5 18th coming.
Well, you look at his last 11 holes, he's made 6 birdies.
Birdies at 16 and 18 yesterday to finish his round. And this fantastic start today.
Doesn't have a lot of the worries that the rest of us have. But it's also right back into the wind, and now we're getting a little exposed here too. Where it was blustery back there at 17, you're on the other side of the hill. We're right here getting the full brunt of it in their faces.
Golf Tracks courtesy of Scott Trade will follow this drive of Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, that's right of where you need to be. You can see that tree. If you take it right on the drip line of that tree, that is where you need to be.
Yeah, missed right.
There's a deep and low canopy to those.
Elevates as he makes contact, and he's held it together pretty well.
And he just outguessed himself.
Yesterday, Bubba Watson with back-to-back birdies at 17 and 18. Today, a couple of 5s at the back-to-back par 5s. He'll make the turn at -1. Jordan Spieth got a break off the tee.
Well, they're looking at a little bit of what Bubba and Teddy were looking at. This one is also right edge. This one does break up the hill toward the mountain. They had to build that right-hand side of this green up.
Boy, it is hard to make yourself hit it on that right edge of the hole.
And Jordan Spieth is climbing the board. Boy, what a start today. Had that one blemish at 12, the par 3. Essentially had a 3-putt on that hole. But 5 birdies for Jordan Spieth. He goes back-to-back birdie at 17 and 18. Ian Baker-Finch joins us. Network coverage starts at 1 o'clock on TNT, 1 Eastern. See the target line. Scott Trade gives us golf tracks. Let's see if Jordan Spieth can keep it dialed in here at the first hole as he makes the turn.
You know, just dead straight away, and just kind of pick your flavor right here as to what kind of tee shots you want to hit. And that looked dead money straight. And you can add one thing to that. He's not short.
No. Now, Ian Baker-Finch with us, getting ready for his network coverage on TNT, and we're talking about Jordan Spieth and what he's done. My question is, was his 2015 setting a standard that he may never be able to live down again? I mean, it's a great problem to have, but what a performance all season last season, and those are the kind of questions he's getting every week. What's wrong? Where are you? How close are you? But, wow, to get to that level again, he may never get to that level. We don't know, but that if that's as high as he gets, what a great story that would be.
Yeah, not many players have been able to back up great years with another one. Certainly Tiger Woods did it for a decade, just kept backing it up with multiple win seasons. And at such a young age, I think he may even have surprised himself. You know, he's runner-up in the Masters in 14, and then he wins it in 15, then he wins the U.S. Open.
Did he have a 4-putt at St. Andrews, but he had 6 other 3-putts, and still was just one shot out of the playoff.
That's right. Yeah, if he'd putted normally, he would have won it.
Exactly.
Going away.
So you know, a lot of expectations, and you know, he's just a wonderful player. He gets the job done.
Said he wanted to come into this week and quicken his step a little bit. Felt like he was getting too frustrated, wanted to stop being so analytical on the golf course. Our social poll today, you can chime in here, Ian, if you like. Who will make the biggest move up the leaderboard today? I'm going to go with Jordan Spieth. He's making a move right now. He's one off the lead.
It's a little late now, isn't it?
Well, that's the advantage of watching PGA.com. You do get the inside information.
Exactly.
So, yes, I'll go with Jordan. Who would you like to take?
Can I take Jordan, too?
Yes, you can.
We'll give you the other two, Billy.
You can have Sergio, Billy. And the truck can go with Bubba Watson.
You know, but you look at players and what they've done, and you look at major championships through the years. To back up, to defend a major championship, Padraig Harrington, you know, is the only one in the last 20 years that has been able to do that other than one guy, Tiger Woods. And Tiger Woods, he's done it at the PGA Championship, the Masters, and the Open. But other than that, it's been Padraig Harrington. That's how hard it has been to win major championships. And
been to the top 5 on occasion. And, you know, he hasn't won one yet. Here's a comparison for Tiger and Jordan at age 23. How about that cuts for Tiger Woods? Amazing. Some guys miss more cuts in a year than Tiger missed in his career.
Now, Spieth, the 19th player in the history of the game to win multiple majors. He just turned 23. And he's already had the multiple majors checked off. Tiger Woods, well, after he bombed that drive at 11, felt like it was going to be a good driving day for Sergio, but that has not been the case. Now Spieth, his second.
Feeling like there's a little helping breeze right now. That would be a shift.
Fantastic iron player, isn't he, Jordan Spieth?
yeah, and he's certainly shown that today in this second round, and pretty much online, great distance control. He's hit a couple of fairway bunker shots, the 11th and the 14th hole, makes birdies. I mean, it's been fun to watch. He's
Again, with the sun shining brightly, such a great area and a golf course with so much history to have this championship.
Yeah, it really is a great golfing region, this whole New York, New Jersey area. Fantastic golf courses, some of the probably 50 of the top 100 in the world in this region. And great golf fans. And good to see all that storm's gone through, and I was thinking there'd be rain all morning and maybe even some more later on, and that's why I was worried about that lift, clean and place rule. I thought, boy, if we get some more rain, you know, it might cause a stoppage of play because the course if it gets heavy rain, when it hasn't had so much rain for a long while, it'll sit for a while before it permeates. So
yeah, you should have seen the core of people out here.
Yeah.
Squeegeeing the fairways, getting the greens. Mark Kuntz and the staff, the volunteers, everyone, getting this prepared. And the presentation that we're seeing right now is just fabulous. I mean, what a great job they've done.
Yeah, Ian, when you hit the network coverage, it's going to be sunny and pretty. It was awesome to see these folks come out. Hundreds of people, volunteers, the ground staff here. It was an amazing sight to see them, especially working on 13. That was a course that wore as much water as any other hole out here. And it was fascinating to watch them go. We give them a lot of credit, Mark Kuntz and his staff. So, yeah, give them some love. They did a great job. They deserve the honor and the respect here as we take a look at Jordan Spieth.
Once he gets over the little ridge, the last 6 feet, it's going left.
Now Spieth's going to wait. He's got it within a shot of Jimmy Walker, who's the leader at -5.
And you know, Brian, I just now thought, I said Mickelson played in 93. It was +1. So now you're kind of looking. You're kind of looking at +2. But with the softness of the golf course, I'm leaning that if it squeezes in to +2, it's barely going to get in there.
Okay.
All right, so Spieth with his 4. Went out in 32, makes a turn now on the front 9, and he's 1 shot off the lead heading to the par 4 second. Patrick Reed has made it
out of the year, not the end of the year, but his stats don't show so far this season that he should be up there. You know, he hasn't really been putting the numbers on the board like he normally does.
Yeah, and when I look at it, you know, I look at the fact that he just has not converted the 10-footer like we normally see Jimmy Walker do.
Boy, when he's on, he's a fierce competitor.
Spieth's got the iron. Par 4 second hole.
This answers a question that I had, Billy. Bubba's one of the guys that's got the...
How much better could a Friday be? We're with you. And we've got Ian Baker Finch here, Billy Kratzert in the booth, Brian Katrick down on the ground, and second shots coming at the par 4 second.
And about even par on the second 9 and 1 over total, obviously, for the entire 18, 71 average.
Second shot for Spieth.
139, biggest, most receptive target they've seen all day.
That'll give him another green. He's hit them all today.
I actually thought that ball may try, of course, can firm up enough to where it's going to take the driver out of the player's hands.
I agree with you. If I had a weapon like that, those guys, the big hitters like Dustin Johnson, Jason Day, Adam Scott, Bubba, of course, it's their go-to club these days. It's just as easy to hit the driver straight as any other club at their swing speeds. And if I could hit it as far as Bubba, I'd hit driver on the 2nd and the 8th hole as well and try and get it up there as close as possible.
Oh, I agree. Because there's no way you're going to be able to. You can spot a player 70 yards and not think that you're not going to just get beat 8 out of 10 times.
I got some birdie tries coming up here. If you're just picking us up, PGA.com, our featured group, Sergio Garcia, Bubba Watson, and Jordan Spieth. Spieth is 1 off the lead. Got Ian Baker Finch in the booth with us before he heads over to join Ernie Johnson. And our TNT coverage.
Majority of the course and greens and putts, the tendency is to go down towards 1 green, 2 tee, the low area of the golf course, away from the hill here on the back of the upper course. So everything goes that way. And whenever you're looking at some of these putts, the guys have to factor in that tendency. It may just go a little more that way because of that that low side of the course.
That's exactly what this does, Ian.
And it was quicker.
The putts have been tough to read. You know, Jordan's made plenty of birdies, and you know, but the putts have been tough to read for most of them. I mean, Rory just struggled yesterday at reading them.
And that was a lot of frustration that he just displayed right there.
I remember back in '93 at the US Open here that Lee Janzen won. I was playing to right putts. Have the putter over the ball, stand really close to the ball on your practice strokes, and then back into the ball. And it's amazing how much better you'll see the line of a left to right putt. If you know what I mean, you stand on the inside of the ball and practice stroke, and then you stand into the ball normally. On left to right putts, go the other way. Stand over the ball and then back into it after you practice strokes. And it's amazing how much that'll help you on left to righters.
That makes sense. Ball between your foot and your putter head as you make the stroke for your practice. Nice.
And then back.
Yeah, write that down.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Here's Spieth. This is to save his par and remain one back. He's got it. He's had a few of those today.
That was a good putt. Good save.
So Jordan will head to the third. One shot behind Jimmy Walker. And Jordan looks good. What a great show. Jordan Spieth and Jason Day. With Ernie Johnson, Vern Lundquist, Gary McCord, and Dottie Pepper will be on the other side of that tower. And so they've got network coverage coming up at 1 Eastern. We're on PGA.com, and Jordan Spieth at the third long par 4.
Yeah, big par 4 here, over 500 yards.
4! Way right.
Go grab that spot for me, Nick.
BK, no on-course commentary needed there. Way right, and now hoping for a break. The star today of our feature group, and the 10th hole was his first hole. He found the fairway, his second shot, Billy, and this is the kind of a harbinger of things to come for Jordan Spieth. He's been knocking it close all day.
Yeah, what a great way to start. Left side of the fairway. You find the fairway at your opening hole. Then the 11th hole. This was really nice right here with the rain, the compaction of the sand. It's a tighter lie. You're able to put the club on the ball a little bit easier. But to be able to have that kind of distance control, exceptional.
Mark those fairway bunker shots for Jordan Spieth today. We'll show you another one in a minute. So back-to-back birdies to start. He gave one back with a bogey at 12 and then answered quickly with a birdie at 13, the par 4. That got him back to -2, 3 shots off the lead. And then Spieth at the par 5, 17th.
Yeah, 2 good shots. Drove it in the fairway, laid up to this point, trying to call it down, and right inside 5 feet.
Backed it up at the 18th. And a wayward tee shot, but was able to get it in position for a birdie at the par 5. And he was able to bring it in. So Jordan Spieth moved within 1 of the leader, Jimmy Walker, who is yet to tee off. Went out in 32. He's got a couple of pars here on his inward 9, which is the front 9 for this grouping. And you look at his stats today for Jordan Spieth. So in round 1, he missed 4 greens, Billy, but he is perfect today. He's 11 for 11 in greens hit, and so far, and not everybody's gone out yet in the second round, but he is first, tied for first for proximity on his approaches, averaging just shy of 23 feet to the hole.
All because of the greens being soft. He has not driven the ball well. The fairway bunkers, certainly you can hit great shots out of the fairway bunkers, but being able to play out of the rough and being able to keep it on the greens, that's been the key for Jordan, because he's driven it into the rough, but he's been able to get away with it. There is not much left with this second shot, is there, Brian?
Well, not for Sergio. other than 206 yards. That was great. Jordan Spieth just answered a question for me. His ball is leaning up against the stick. And the question is he going to try to move the stick? And it looks like he is going to try to move the stick. And I don't know that I would have tried to move the stick.
Well, he might have given up on that.
I don't know if he was able to. He may have gone down there and tried it.
Body language is not indicating that the ball moved, but yeah, that's not something that you train for. Interpreting whether the ball's going to move. That one looked like it would move. So now you got a stick in the way, and you got
photographers.
248.
You guys can't be in his line of vision.
Keep the
You guys
ball
got
low,
all the other
play
side of the street.
fade.
Thanks.
I am surprised that he has pulled this club. This is the I'm going to give it a shot club.
No. It should be fine. Okay.
And if the ball was lying a little better, you didn't have question marks about how it was going to come out, it's not that big a deal. It's maybe a 20 or 30 yard fade. The farther left you play it, the higher you can get the ball to go.
You're saying it's this club.
Photographer, you got to stay behind that tree.
That's
Thanks.
a big old question mark right there.
Baker's Bubba!
That's about as good as you can ask for.
Well, certainly worth the risk, and he felt as though there was no risk in getting over the hazard. And now you rely on your short game.
And he's +4 right now. Don't know if that cut's going to go to +2, maybe +1. All depends, I guess, on the wind that we'll see this afternoon if it does pick up a little bit. We started the day with a lot of rain. Got over an inch last night and had a 50-minute delay. Ended up technically being a 45-minute delay on the tee sheet. But it stopped down for just shy of an hour. Projected cut right now at +1.
It's starting to creep the other way. About 20 minutes ago, 76. So working in the direction of +2.
Yeah, Jordan Spieth looking for his first birdie on his second night. He went without a birdie yesterday for the first 15 holes. Had a double bogey on his 7th hole yesterday, and then the rally with 2 birdies coming in, 16 and then 18. To finish at an even par 70, and he's gone 4 under today to get himself within 1.
When you look at the shot, he's hit 10 of 12 greens, but driving it, excuse me, to the right of the first fairway and actually hitting the car path, then having a shot, an opening, able to hit it in there nicely, and then you look here, it's in the rough. Able to stop it quickly. You just don't see that at major championships when you see players drive it into either the intermediate cut or the primary rough. You usually see them struggling trying to keep the ball on the putting surface.
Bubba's hit 5 fairways today. He's got a good look here for birdie. Let's send it back down to BK. Jordan Spieth, remember, drive was right, way right, and just had to blast one to here, coming through the trees. So this will be his 3rd.
Pretty straightforward up and down. He's going back into the slope. It's going to move a lot from left to right when it gets up on the green. Tour players make those shots look really easy.
Go back a couple of years when I was watching him excuse me, down in Orlando, Tiger's event, everyone was having trouble with that shot because of the grain of the grass. They couldn't hit it, but because he has that steep angle of attack and the shaft lane, he is always going to be able to put a lot of spin on that shot. Even though it's a short shot, he can really.
The one guy who can take advantage of those par fives. Didn't do it. Birdied them both yesterday, but made the turn at 1 under for his round today. That's where he'll sit. We're looking at Spieth's 7-footer here. And good from that spot. Over 63.5% success rate from this range.
You got to keep it over on the left-hand side of the hole.
Got another one, Billy.
Boy, that's a good save right there. You know, that keeps the momentum going. Already 5 birdies on the card today for Jordan Spieth, but the par right there to get out of trouble after the errant tee shot. That's one that just keeps the momentum going, and Jordan Spieth at -3. Selection August 28th. So had things going nicely. Then he's kind of been in a little, I'm not going to call it a slump, but a little bit of a lull. But certainly coming up big now. 5 under par. And that's what we're seeing. You have Patrick Reed. He's made 5 birdies today. Jordan Spieth, he's made 5 birdies today. You have a golf course out there that's really soft right now. You put the best players in the world out there, they're going to make birdies. They're going to make a lot of birdies.
Yep. The signature hole here, the famous 4th, the par 3 at Baltusrol, and BK is a great scene down there right now, and they're anxious to see Jordan Spieth.
There are folks on the left-hand side of the pond that are lined up. They're shoulder to shoulder about 4 or 5 deep over there. They can't even see the tee. They're just waiting to see a ball land. This is one of the great amphitheaters here. Certainly the best one on this golf course and one of the best of the year. What wind there is helping right now. This is on a very good line.
Well, he keeps giving himself chances. Jordan Spieth. Golf Tracks helping us follow that one right to the middle of the green, courtesy of Scott Trade.
You can see that. You know, you look at this golf hole and you look at the ridge. Right there, and trying to put it on the proper level. You know, that's the difficulty with this. You see it right there, and then you clear that, and then everything you have, everything works down towards the water and works away from where this hole is located. So that's the difficulty, and that's why it's important for the players to put it up on that shelf.
Well, we're waiting on these putt story this morning. And a credit to all of the grounds crew, the volunteers that helped get this golf course in shape. Jordan Spieth. Doing a lot of homework with this one before his birdie chance, BK.
Well, you know what he needs is he needs a guy that grew up caddying around these parts, somewhere in this area. A guy that's had a lifetime of experience. He needs Pete Pavakwa's read here.
I would love to be out there with him, trust me. I think he's in good hands.
Also going to work down to the right.
Robbie was an inside job.
First putty's left short.
That's right.
First putty's left short, Pete.
He's been running them by, and he's been answering them all, saving the pars. So he's made a great charge today, though. He's put himself right there, Jordan Spieth. And it really started yesterday on the 16th hole. Had not had a birdie yesterday until he got to 16. And so a 3 for Spieth. Keeps him at -4, a shot back. Of our leaders, co-leaders right now, Jimmy Walker, who has yet to tee off. Patrick Reed has joined Walker at the top of the leaderboard.
It's amazing, and I tried not to eavesdrop too much, but of course I did. And to be a fly on the wall of that conversation was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, the defending champ who went 2 under yesterday and hadn't seen the golf course until Wednesday, but certainly did his homework. And the great pro Doug Steffen, who's on his way out, be retiring after this. Spieth now at the 5th. Got driver in hand, BK.
And a helping wind. And that is perfect.
He looks pretty comfortable, doesn't he?
He does. The iron play today has been so good.
Had it to 5 under. He has bogeyed, and now he sits at -4. This is the guy that the galleries are surrounding right now. Got 5 fairways hit. He has found the fairway here at the par 4 5th. And trying to give himself another good look at birdie, and he's had plenty of them today, Billy.
Well, he really has, and this second shot plays uphill for Jordan. It looks like the wind's starting to kick up just a little bit more right now.
Yeah, we got out here to this exposed area of the course again. It was amazing. You go down through 1, 2, even 3, and then of course all of 4. You're down in the bowl. You don't feel it. Up here on the top of this hill, 5 green. It's blowing. It's a great day to fly a kite. They're going to play a little out of order here. Sergio with a bit of a break there on the 5th tee. Spieth with 119.
Yeah. Again, careful of the spin.
Something else that's adding to the difficulty today, guys, is you've got that side hill just left of the flagstick, and this is the green that looks like the whole green.
It's about where Phil Mickelson started to rattle a little bit. Lost a 3-shot lead in the final round through this stretch of holes. Ended up rallying and birdied the 18th to win the championship. -4 won that season, 2005, here at Baltusrol. The scoring got as low as 8 under par after the second round. And right now we're sitting at -5 as the lead. Spieth would love to join Jimmy Walker at -5 with a make here.
Well, we talked about these guys needing to get a look sometimes, and how good they are after one. You just got a great look from Sergio.
Good putt, perfect pace, pretty much dead weight. Yeah, and as a player out there, you sense what the cut is. You kind of have that feeling that with the way the golf course is playing, you kind of know that it's going to be teetering right on that +2 number. So 4 holes to play. He needs to get 2 of them.
That'll keep him a shot back of the leader, Jimmy Walker. A birdie for Bubba Watson, however. His third of the day. Takes him to 2 under on his round.
Decent day. Those players, you can hit on that downward pitch of the fairway, catch that extra 20 yards.
Spieth with driver.
The only shame of that one, Billy, is that Bubba can't see how much it's running from there. He's a little blind where that ball lands if he hit it that far. That is also nice. Boy, he put a charge in this one.
That's another big bounce, and it blows right by Bubba Watson. Okay. Well, Jordan Spieth, he's picked up about 4 yards on his driving distance this season. Accuracy numbers are down a little, but he has picked up. Is with these 3. Ball position. We look at golf tracks courtesy of Scott Trade, and they're all in a nice little cluster in the fairway at 6.
And you look at those bunkers that are staggered right and left. But I understand it, because you have a whole location on that left-hand side and you want to hit something hard.
Spieth.
There's no chrome on this club. This is one of the wedges. 145. That's got to be a big one. Boy, he really de-lofted this. Flared it out to the right.
Oh, it stays on top. Doesn't bounce in. It's a first green he's missed today.
Yeah, and hey, things are going well. You want to go ahead and go with the flag sticks. You hit a big drive, position yourself. Just didn't execute.
Well, Spieth will
to pick the shot that they want to hit. And Bubba, I thought he picked the right shot when he tried to play it in low back at the 5th hole. It just happened to grab a little too quickly and come up short. I thought maybe he would have played the same shot here, but he opted. He felt like, you know what, if I can toss this behind the flagstick a little bit, there may be a little bit of a buffer back there that I can draw it back to the hole. But how you feel at that moment, and the only thing that you can control are your thoughts on the golf course, but how you feel is certainly going to dictate the shot that you hit.
And Bubba, maybe as far as field player goes, he's the one at the top. All right, BK, set us up here for Jordan Spieth.
Well, it's not a shot that he has to hit very far. Running away from the mountain. Well, that swing right there indicates he's going to try to fly it all the way down onto the putting surface. I love these. Billy, it almost looked like he changed his mind as he stood over that ball.
Well, it was always one where he was not going to have a lot of shaft lean. He was going to let the club head pass just so he could land the ball softly. Always trying to keep the face of the club kind of pointing skyward. You know, for a player that has a weak left-hand grip, close around the greens, that's kind of a hard shot. It's almost like you have to back the shaft up a little bit in order to do that, but that was played to perfection. Go ahead and finish out.
Right, so Jordan Spieth will remain one back of the co-leaders now, Jimmy Walker and Henrik Stenson. Stenson 12 holes into his round. He's a few holes behind this group, 3 holes actually. It's not the confessional room he was headed into. Spieth now. Scott Trade Golf Tracks to follow this one.
Yeah, see the collection of bunkers down the right, just inside those bunkers. Ideal line.
hit it hard.
That may be that same tree he hit it under yesterday. In fact, he had to go out towards the 11th fairway yesterday.
Ended up with a double here yesterday at the 7th. Here with Billy Kratzert and Brian Katrick on the ground for us. And Billy, this featured group with Bubba Watson and Jordan Spieth playing well today, and Spieth got himself in a great position for yet another major, perhaps.
Well, you look at the way that he played the back nine, and he took 3 from the edge on one hole, the 12th hole, the par 3. But other than that, he made 5 birdies. Finished the round yesterday, birdieing 2 of the last 3. So, you know, you look at the way that he finished, and going forward, he certainly has dialed it in. Bubba Watson has found it and putting well and starting to drive the ball, find the ball in the fairway. And Sergio, same as Rory yesterday, it's just hasn't found the magic and has not made a birdie on a golf course that is yielding plenty of birdies.
Well, they have alerted this grouping that they are a hole behind as they play the 7th. And so they'll try to quicken the pace here. Jordan Spieth coming off a 30th place finish at the Open Championship. Finished 37th at the U.S. Open. That heartbreaking 2nd place finish.
Guys, there's going to be no cell phone use in video when he's taking other than a professional to chop. Please respect the play.
Look, you got 2 different deals. You have park path and you have casual water. Park path
Brad Gregory is going to help out here as you see this predicament for Jordan Spieth.
But you can take relief from the casual water, which, you know, it's. Look,
right here.
If the Jordan, I got to ask you a couple of questions. If the casual water wasn't here, and the ball was just sitting here on the cart path, what would you do? What would you do here? What would you play this direction?
If the ball was sitting on the cart path,
yeah, right
there's no water here, I don't have a shot from there. So
right. No. Okay, I understand. You're going to play.
I would be playing.
You're going to be playing this direction.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I need to know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So basically, what we need to do is take our club that we would be playing that direction, and let's see where we fit here.
Marshall.
Yeah. 170 hole. You good? And again, we have to take complete release. So let's start with your feet on this side. And again, your toes couldn't touch. So you know, would if the ball was sitting here, could you get your feet on that side, or would you still be in the water? I would still be in the water. Okay. So really, the nearest point of relief is right here. It's going to be here. Now we've got a driver to move it over that way. And technically speaking, this is a separate couple. Correct. You know, they aren't connected. So this would be the nearest point. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, and still see the water visible. So I'm going to go right here. Okay. And then I can measure the driver that way. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. Let's go get a real yardage. True yardage. We know we're going to put the leaf. Let's go ahead and lift the ball. We don't move it. So there it is. So it's right here. Yeah, let's actually it's right there. Yeah, I just don't know if we're going to be able to fit our stance in this way. You understand what I mean? Yes, but I can drop it here. That original stance, swing direction of play that we would have played for that original position is going to apply here. And so if the ball were positioned here, would our stance still be in that puddle? And I have a feeling it would be. Yes. So
I either have to go back. It's just a club length in any...
Right, in any direction. You can go backwards.
So if I'm right here...
Right, and if
I'm not here.
Well, is your...
No.
Okay, yeah, we can go there.
Right.
So, yeah, go ahead and put it there.
Say right there.
Okay.
Right, so if I go here, and I say I drop it, and it goes into this puddle, that's now a new puddle to take relief from.
Maybe. You get this original stance.
If I'm not standing in this,
that would be
then it would be a new puddle.
That would be the issue.
Okay, so let's try it. Let's see.
All right. We're gonna have to drop it very near that tee. Yeah. And again, the question is, would we be standing on the cart in that puddle from here?
Well, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like I'm in that puddle right there.
Okay, with that original stance.
Correct.
Okay.
That's technically in it, but I'm standing
certainly we would. Yeah, it went to a position where we'd have interference again.
Correct. So
we're going to redrop. Yes,
okay.
We can lift clean it. Yeah,
that was the best drop I've ever done in my life.
Right. So what we're going to do is try to place it there. And again, once you let go, we'll see what happens.
Unbelievable handout.
All right, Jordan.
All right, Jordan.
So it's right there.
Okay. That's good. That's where it landed. So you can remove the tee. Okay. And the problem is, we have.
Okay, well, let me get my club. It's close.
It's close, isn't it? You can't really manipulate your feet.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to settle in here. I mean,
yeah. See, the problem is
that's still in it.
I think you're still in it.
All right.
So
we got to go further back.
We're going to have to go further back, but we're still working really.
Yeah.
We didn't drop it in a correct position.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, I think if you went a club length here,
correct.
Where you get your feet going, maybe over there on the railroad tie.
So right here. All right, I may as well measure from here, and I can always drop it on the other side of that. Correct?
Yeah, from right there, that's kind of that original position. I think.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm just putting the tee down. It doesn't really matter where I put my feet on.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're good.
And now I could still take cart path relief.
If you want to take cart path,
what would be the nearest point?
You're still going to be going
versus there.
And you're going to be going right here.
Okay. So this ball's in play.
Yeah. Just make sure we have complete relief before you strike this ball with this puddle right here.
Everybody's trying to get about 20 feet right.
Folks, need everybody to put the cell phones away. Cell phones away. Please respect the player.
Maybe not.
Yeah. See, I think it's fun, George. Yeah, I think we've got to go
back to where I'm here.
Right.
So redrop?
Yes. So we have this is still the first drop. We haven't really. We got to stay within a club length of there.
So I got you.
I'm thinking right in.
I got you.
And at least there. See, I think we're beyond the club length.
That's not beyond the club length, but that's still in casual water, isn't it?
The club length is measured from here.
Yeah, yes, sir. Look at the driver. That's in the club length.
No, but it landed outside the club.
Oh, okay.
It's got to land inside the club.
It has to land inside.
Yes,
It can't work.
Yes, sir.
But where did it land?
It landed back here.
Oh, okay.
And roll.
Okay. I don't know about you, this is kind of difficult to really get it right. I mean, it's hard to...
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, that would be a redrop. I think so.
I'm trying to drop it in here.
Right. It just depends.
Michael, will you dry this for me?
Your arms can get tired.
So right in here is where we're looking to drop it?
I think that's within a club length. I think you'd have... Okay, so let's place it here.
Okay, let me dry it again, please.
And then see if... Right there, and then see if our stance is good. Our toes.
Man, because I'm now at this angle because of these branches.
So what you're saying is you think you've now got a different direction of play.
Correct,
starting
because it's further on this side versus over there. I couldn't drop it in here and
let me do this.
Water,
just set up with the original, just with the original direction of play from right here. The original direction of play, which would have been toward the hole, right?
Correct.
that clear? Yes. So technically, I think we've got relief from the original stance swing direction of the play. Now, since the tree is interfering more here, where we have to start the ball to the right of the flagstick, now just because our foot is a little bit into there, I think we've satisfied the rule because we've taken relief from the original stance swing. Going to be evaporating. Okay, so I think you're okay with just a toe in. Okay. Okay? I'm okay with this. We're good. Thanks. Okay. Thank you. You guys all good, man?
Okay, Billy, so all of that, Brad Gregory working all through this with Jordan Spieth. They're already on the clock a hole behind. Give us a quick summary of what just transpired there.
Well, taking relief from casual water on the cart path, that was the concern. And if he was going to take relief from the cart path, then he would have to go further left. So the relief that he took was from the casual water. But as we said earlier, you must take full relief from casual water, and that's why it was such an intricate drop that if that left toe was touching the water, then it wasn't full relief. So that's why there was the concern about that left foot where it was positioned. Even though it wasn't directly in the water, if the toe was just tapping the water, that was not full relief. So he had to make sure that he took full relief from the casual water.
All right, so he is finally ready to play his second shot at the 7th. We're going to catch up here with BK. Other two players have already played. We'll show you those in a moment.
Yeah, Sergio made a great birdie up at the 8th that you'll see. Bubba's on the green now at the 9th. They have moved on. The rule was complicated. How about that? He got it out clean after all of that. And then it's too much.
Yeah, rolls up and over the green.
If that's up against the fence, he's going to need another drop.
All right, so all of that.
Well, there is out of bounds over this green. Relief. That spot becomes totally different. So you had to get which way Jordan was going to intend to play the shot.
Christopher Vaughn, I agree with you. That was fascinating. That was diving into the rules and just a great back and forth how the rules officials are there to help the player.
And before you go any further, you may have seen his left foot in that water, but it was the intended line of play, and that may have changed with the shot that he had. He was trying to play a big hook, so then all of a sudden it was a direct line to the hole. So everything that Gregory did there, Brad did, was right on the money.
All right, so Spieth is now going to have that putt for a par. Remember, he's one back of the lead right now. He's sitting at 4 under. Made a double here at 7 yesterday.
And the whole pace of this group feels rushed also right now. And then Billy, as a player, you know,
back of the lead right now. He's sitting at 4 under. Made a double here at 7 yesterday.
And the whole pace of this group feels rushed also right now. And then Billy, as a player, you know that you're behind. He just got told they were behind. A ruling like this will reset things like time par, but there is a very rushed vibe out here right now.
Yeah, you know, Bubba, that's my point with Bubba Watson specifically. He's ready to go, always ready to go, especially when he's been told his group is on the clock. Sergio is just fighting to make the cut here. He knows he's in a bad position on the scorecard, so they're all waiting on Spieth, and that can create a little tension and urgency. Not between each other, just with the way things have unfolded here. But this becomes a big putt for the second round on the 7th hole for Spieth, who's trying to remain a shot back.
Well, this one's not easy to read either. You're putting back up the mountain, but it does appear to be downhill. It's definitely going to the left.
Did he? Did he?
Ooh.
Wouldn't have surprised me.
Yeah, it had a good look. But that'll be for a bogey for Spieth. Does have a bogey today. That came at the 12th hole, which was his 3rd hole of the day. That was a par 3.
And that was 3 from the edge.
Right.
That was 3 from nowhere.
He was making a run in a bird. All right, Brian, what are you seeing here at 7 green?
Seeing a little back uphill and inside left. Talked about how Jordan doesn't jam putts in, which means you've got to be a little bit more exact with the reads. But this would be one you'd want to take some breakout of. Maybe his easiest par putt of the day came on the last hole after missing the green. He's had to work for a lot of these. Inside left and firm. That's how Bill Kratzer would hit it. And he'd hit it with the claw.
Okay.
That's good.
Double bogey yesterday at the 7th, and today Jordan Spieth with a bogey at the 7th. His nemesis hole to start this PGA Championship. 2 to play for a tough day for Garcia. Here's Spieth now with driver.
Open shoulders there to the toe line. He likes it.
Yeah, going to the tee. Okay.
Stop, stop.
Wow. Getting some run out now.
So he was able to use the rules to his advantage. You can see right here that left toe is in the hazard right here. So you can see his left toe. Whoops, let's go over here. Let's try that again. Left toe is in the hazard right here. But that's because the shot that he's going to hit is going to go out here and it's going to draw. When he took relief from the original line, he was taking a straight line relief to the flag. If he'd have ended up wanting to take relief from that, he probably could have dropped back in this position back in here, or maybe even more, and then all of a sudden, who knows, he might have ended up over here. So he was happy and content with the situation that he was in and able to hit the shot. It resulted in a bogey, but he was able to kind of use the rules to his advantage to get out of that hazard that he's in, or that puddle of water. Yeah. Not really a hazard.
Casual water was a story earlier today. That's what delayed play for about 50 minutes today because of all the rain that we had last night and then this morning. The sun's shining brightly. You wonder how there is water in that place, but that's why. So, all right. Tugging at his left knee after that last drive. Curious to know if, don't know if he'll reveal it or not, but something grabbed him on that knee after his last swing. Here's Spieth now, his second. Got a lot of rollout on this drive. 1 foot in the bunker.
You know what? And that's probably okay as he executes it perfectly. You know, a little bit of a downward pitch. You have the soft greens. It was a pretty clean lie. You have all the weight on the front leg. I mean, everything's right there to go ahead and drive that in low like Jordan did.
Coming out of the rough, too. It's not going to have any spin at all. He wants that ball to release to that back hole location.
Matt Nelson tweeting in, watching our coverage.
And then
inch last night. 3 inches of rain since Monday, and the golf course is playing like this.
Yeah.
You could not ask for any more.
All right, now Spieth. Birdie chance at the 8 to go to 4 under. Answer that bogey at 7.
Well, he bounced back after the 3 putt at 12, or taking 3 from the edge.
That'll keep him 2 back.
That almost feels like a bogey.
I hear that. He's
that's the path I would take.
I haven't seen a yellow glove out there on the golf course in a number of years. I'm going to say almost 15.
Jordan Spieth at the 9th.
That'll be a great way to finish with a good iron shot here. The iron play today.
That was a good swing.
Has just been so good.
Bam.
It's a dartboard.
And they're going to continue to do it all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, this golf course cannot dry out enough to get some release on the greens.
And check his proximity stats. 8 grabbing the knee. All right, so Jay Busby taking pictures from what is now a moment here at the PGA Championship. I don't think they're going to put a plaque down, Billy, but this is a moment, and you can stand on this cart path And that's where all of the discussion around Jordan Spieth occurred. People posing for pictures, handfuls of gravel. It's a lot like the Michael
17, so there's a lot of yardage eaten up with 5 golf holes here. And Zach Johnson, a guy that can utilize his driver quite effectively around Baldwin, put it in position. Then if he puts some short irons or mid irons in his hands, then he can go with these flag sticks.
And a good wedge player too.
Oh, absolutely. You talk about rotational, the body rotation through with the wedges, no flip of the hands, strong left hand, everything's rotational through, can control the trajectory, flights, distances. That's Zach Johnson.
Well, Zach Johnson coming off a T12 at the Open Championship after he had a top 10 finish at the U.S. Open. And 20th in the world rankings coming in. That'll be our feature group for the afternoon with Breeder and Brian Katrick, Annabelle Rowley. We're finishing up our feature group from this morning. Again, this was the 8:10 tee time. They got pushed back to about 9 o'clock after some rain came through. Before we leave here, we certainly again want to credit the grounds staff here and the work that they did and all the volunteers. It's hard to imagine how much rain and how much. And now this is the one that matters for Jordan Spieth. Hit all but 2 greens today. This for birdie at the 9th, his final hole of the 2nd round of the PGA Championship.
I think this is an important round too for Jordan.
Oh yeah, and when I look back on it, Michael, the iron play, because he has struggled with these greens in regulation this year, it's down.
And that was almost down.
17-footer, and it came out from the back of the cup. He'll have to settle for par, Spieth.
But this is a huge boost for him going forward.
Exactly.
This is the best I've seen Jordan hit his irons this year.
No birdies on his inward 9, which is the